Yeah, welcome back to News Insight. We will be discussing this kind of, very broad spectrum of election where you have only Asiwaju on one end and Nigerians on the other end. Reason Atiku's aide is putting that forward is this. Almost all the elites are taking sides, the governors and all that taking sides with Asiwaju. But the ordinary person, if you get to the street, they are yet to see the reversal of dollar at 360 naira to come back from 1,006. They are yet to see the fuel that they left off at, is it 185 naira? From the 900 or 9 something that it is. An ordinary person is not too careful about whether the debt is increasing or not even increasing. They don't even know that. The ordinary Nigerians, they don't even know that. But these basic things that affect them, the cost of transportation, cost of living, insecurity, and all the likes that at the end of the day that either improves their standard of living or reduce that. Many Nigerians sincerely appear to be queuing behind that. And Atiku Aide is telling Asiwaju that 2027 is going to be you versus Nigeria. And we were hoping that 2027 is actually going to be Nigerians and Asiwaju versus those who are putting themselves together, like they have said, that are going to fail. Philip, let me just start off from you. This balanced 2 years, removing psychophancy, removing, being in good books of the president or whatever, don't you think Asiwaju should use it to reverse this course and ensure that a greater proportion of Nigerians comes to his side?
I wonder what you're saying, the proportion of the 2 years that is left should be used. Asiwaju is already telling you that he has already worked. Whether it's psychophancy or they said they've worked, and that the reform they put in place will start yielding dividends. They have told you billions of dollars has moved into the country for investment because of what they have done in the last 2 years. But again, facing reality, like the question you said, I think sincerely, which we've all said at this table, that look, it is performance that should be knocking at people's doors, not big board advert and people sponsoring big board, whatever, shouting Tinubu again. That's not what Tinubu focus should be. Tinubu should bring himself to the street and not align himself with only the elite who always tell him what he wants to hear. I think sincerely, and I want to agree with your question, that instead of all this psychophancy and all of that, Tinubu should use this last 2 years to focus on real governance, in policy that can put food on Nigerians people's table, a government that can reduce the rate of unemployment, a government that can produce real health, a sector that can attend to the health challenge of Nigeria, a government that can attend to the educational sector to ensure that a FCT student will not sit at home for 4 months without, respond. With a minister that perform with road paving.
Right here in Abuja.
The government that can, come to the level to say that the hunger in the land need to be, taken care of. A government that can tackle insecurity head on. That kind of government, if Tinubu can reverse itself and put it in place, I think sincerely the masses will, like you said, a greater part of the masses
will come to his side.
Tend towards his side. But if he continue in this way, you can see that the Atiku Aide is not only in this. If all Nigeria are together with him, that is true. If you continue with this, you remain with the elites. So many people have said, I think somebody said that all the governors might defer to APC, that Tinubu will still lose the election. I can't remember who made that particular statement. That's another way of saying that
Tinubu also said
that's another way of saying that Tinubu versus the masses in 2027. Because people who you have put into hunger, pains, deprivation, everything, you don't expect them to say go back. You may think you have all the strategy to to re-elect yourself, but when people are hungry, they are angry. And when a man is angry, he's dangerous.
All right, we are talking about people versus Asiwaju. If what Atiku's 8 Bolibe said is something to go by, you realize that you can't really set, people versus Asiwaju if INEC is on the side of Asiwaju. And just like people are always touting that INEC is not fully independent because it's the president that appoints the chairman, they determine who are the recs and all that. Do you think the fight for independence of INEC, barring Tinubu's performance? Because as a matter of fact, if Tinubu himself believed he has performed, then he would want a transparent INEC such that he will be freely re-elected.
Yeah, we all believe that there should be a change. There should be electoral reform. And somebody met me some days ago and said, Peter, you've been talking about electoral reform. The laws are there. So what are you asking? I want an enforcement. I want INEC to be forced to do it. How do you do it? There should be an existing law. There should be a law that will mandate INEC to transmit this result electronically. They have an option to do it or not to do it. Don't give them that option. So that is the reform we are asking. Let our vote count. When our vote counts, our leaders take us serious. Once they know that people you've come to lead does not want you, if they by any mistake, any opportunity enters there, they will take people serious. As Paul Isbe said, 2027 election will be a referendum on President Tinubu period. People will speak if things are
okay. But now we have a lot of structural challenges. APC's party is at peace. They have adopted Asiwaju as their candidate. They have started preparation now. There is a saying that there's nothing you do early that is bad except death. They've started early. We are talking about the people versus Asiwaju. Who is going to epitomize the people's need? Who is going to represent the people? Who is going to stand for the people? In the last election, we have P2B, we have Atiku, we have Kwankwa. So those are the major contenders. Other ones, there are people that were scoring 10, 20,000, 80,000. We are not talking about those. There's nobody that's cost 80,000 that wants to be that wants to be a presidential candidate. Okay, now we have not heard about new people coming, apart from maybe people like that participated in primaries, like Amechi and Osibanjo, that were in APC primaries. No new person has shown interest so far. Among all these ones I've mentioned, who do you think, if we have a closed door, for example, that no new person decides to come in, who do you think would stand best for the people? And based on what?
This is probably the most easiest question to answer. Before I tell that, you made the statement here that APC appears to have peace. Appearance and reality are two different things. Don't be deceived by that influence. Think there's peace. We'll be here. We'll discuss the implosion that happened.
If I allow myself to be deceived, what will you do?
Yes. I told you one day we'll discuss the implosion
that will happen there.
Yeah. Because when you said it, I myself was like, APCs at peace.
Where they appear
Where
to
did you get that from?
I said they appear to be at peace.
Having said that, let's look at people that have put themselves forward for this presidential race. Obi is there, Atiku is there. We're not sure of Erufai. We're not sure whether he wants to.
He has never said he wanted to run.
That's what I say. We're not
Even
sure.
in 2023, he didn't say he wants to run.
And Kwankwaso has not showed any serious interest in contesting. But looking at these two people, it is obvious that most Nigerians want somebody that is stronger.
Which two people? I mentioned nine people.
For me, just two of them.
No, Amechi is there.
Amechi has not shown interest.
Well, that's what you think.
Even
in the other...
He said something. He said even last night at this meeting. So if he means this coalition will deliver Nigeria from this current state, he will be happy to join there.
You see, Peter, that is the same thing even Obi is saying. All of them are saying the same thing. They want to come together. None of them has really said, oh, it has to be me.
Okay. Let's put Amicho up there.
Yeah.
But look at their record, look at their personality, look at their followership. I think the only person now that could stand up to our current president is Peter Obi. He's been consistent with his criticism of everything by this government has done. He's consistent with calling this government out.
When you say criticism of everything the government has done,
every wrong thing this government has done.
Okay, I should, because you don't just
No,
criticize everything
you don't.
government
Yes,
has
now
done.
it's
Yeah.
every wrong thing. After he went to which state that had flood, he did not condemn government. He just went there. So his criticism is objective. So he's been consistent, and he has gathered youth that believed in him. Somebody that never had a governor, no senator, no structure, was able to gather 6 million votes.
All right, let me come. If we go by what we have in the last election, hopefully INEC gets reformed. And do you think Asiwaju would need to outperform now for him to retain the seat, or he can use billboard, knocking of door to door, and all that, and politics to stand against the Nigerians like Polibe said in 2027?
Certainly, he needs to outperform what he has done so far. If he doesn't, like you rightly said, INEC is properly put in place to do what the law empowered them to do, not the way they used to do it.
Yeah.
You know, sorry to dive into the question you didn't ask me, and you place among those who are there, you take, for instance, I want to align myself with Peter Obi, who has organic follower already, and then the coalition standing behind him
to ensure that the vote counts.
Those who knows how to ensure that vote counts, and they announce. If the only solution that the president has is to outperform what he has done so far. Anything short of that, he has no hope.
Well, they're performing. They just celebrated the 30-kilometer road they did.
Out of 750.
Out of 750.
5%.
So, like Afeni Frey said, this present government, they are more on propaganda.
A fashion of
It's a more propaganda.
It's a fashion of
and propaganda cannot wish away hunger in the land.
That's true.
It cannot wish away poverty that's killing our people. It cannot wish away insecurity. So they should sit up and perform. And again, people get in Lagos to celebrate what? Do you know how much was engulfed in that celebration?
But it's actually really something that is destroying the mentality and the teachings we are dishing out to our children. That you do something 5%, you go and throw a party.
If
your son or daughter comes home with 5% score, for anything, even though the time allowed for the homework is still left, you'll say, no, why in haste? Why in haste? If you still have to tomorrow to finish your homework, go and finish your homework and come back so that we can evaluate you properly. 5%, I think that was atrocious. It was unnecessary too, because this is not like the end of the tenure. It's just midway. You can highlight it as part of work in progress. The tenure is actually work in progress. Do you think David Umahi, packaged that up just to cover up some inefficiencies that is literally around him?
Certainly, it's part of David Umahi propaganda to propagate the work this government had done so far. Secondly, he did it to cover up his shortcomings. Because where is David Umahi's shortcoming? One, take a trip from here to Benin, this Benin-Abuja-Lokoja road. This road is begging for fixing, especially the Edo portion between Aoshi and Benin City, especially the Ekpo-Maorum area.
Even those Okbela area, they are not really quite good.
So this and many other roads in this country that are begging for fixing. David Umahi abandoned those ones that are begging for fixing. He now went for Elephant Project.
30-kilometer road.
Lagos Calabar Coastal Road. And he worked within Lagos.
Yeah.
Not even the entire Lagos. He said, they have achieved so much. To deceive the public that as if they have completed the construction of the Lagos.
It's a deception. I don't think that's deception. There's another school of thought that said this project is just basically to do Lagos corridor of the road. But if not to do the Lagos corridor of the road, why celebrate just less than 5%?
All right, time is against us. I think the consensus is that Asiwaju should outperform now. Otherwise, the prediction that is going to be him versus Nigeria might end up being correct.
The indices are not there.
He'll be correct
Yes.
if he doesn't outperform.
No, the indices is not there that he'll perform. Do more
Well,
than what
we
they're
don't know tomorrow.
We
The
don't know.
miracle can still happen.
Yes.
Our wishes is that he outperforms now.
That is our
because
wishes.
why wait till 2027 to change a president if we can start enjoying
Enjoying
good
good
governance
You-
now?
You know he believed in miracle.
Yeah,
And
so-
miracle will happen. He also believes that I wish I agree with you. We want a Nigeria that work for everyone of
Everyone.
us.
Let it
Yes.
start now.
We don't
Let's
need to
start here.
change government before the Nigeria will start
Exactly.
working for us. So let Tinubu outperform his work.
Let's start
now,
enjoying
so that we don't wait for 2027 before we start afresh with
That's
a new
right.
person. Let him start performing so that we can enjoy the.
So
the-
that's
the
I
Nigeria
keep, I
forward.
keep myself there always. I prefer him to start now rather than wait till 2027 fail, then we change him. No, let him get it right. We all enjoy. Yes. The appetite is not to change him. The appetite is to get a good governance. Well, this is Tino's Insights. We'll be right back very shortly.